Our fearless leader, Sandy Parker, tripped in her house last Sunday and broke her hip. So she is taking advantage of the healthcare system and has had a hip replacement. And she's in rehab at the NCH North. And she gets out tomorrow if she's a good girl. And she'll be doing some rehab at her home, but she won't be able to drive her car for a while. So we'll have to figure out a way to drive her crazy and get her to come back and do her job. We miss her. Thank you all for coming. Can you tell me how many of you are new to an event here at OFA Naples? Raise them high. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. And I know a couple of you guys are coming back from being away. So Tony, Leslie, stick your hands up and we'll say welcome back. I forgot to tell you, because Sandy's not here, she's asked Joey Muradas to tape this whole event. So smile and speak loudly when you talk. She doesn't want to miss a minute of what we do. So we have some core team members who are here also. So in the back of the room is Tina Palmese. Greeting you when you came in were Dawn and Pat Howard. Lisa Freund. Araceli Gomez. Toby Simmerly. I think that's it. Does anybody else want to say they're going to take a commitment to take on an issue and carry it through? Okay. So I am pleased tonight to introduce you to a dynamic young woman by the name of Victoria Kirby. She has boundless energy. So whenever you feel you're flagging and you're not sure you can make one more phone call or knock on one more door, you just need to talk to Victoria. She is the State Director for Organizing for Action, and she is shot from guns. So please give her a warm welcome.
Can we get a round of applause for Liza? I just had an opportunity to meet with Sandy before coming over here, and she definitely sends you warm wishes, and she'd be very proud of the job that Liza just did. So I wanted to make sure we honor Liza for everything that she's doing today. I'm always really excited to come to Naples. Naples was one of the first teams that I visited when I first took this job back in May as State Coordinator for Organizing for Action. And you all have just continued to grow and grow and grow in the amount of amazing and incredible work you've done. When you look at the activities happening across the state of Florida, whether it's the Affordable Care Act events that you all have been doing, like the incredible panel that received so much press coverage the other week with Get Covered, whether you're talking about immigration reform events. I know Liza's going to do an update on club activities later to give you the full scoop. But other teams across the state, when they talk about what teams they want to emulate and be like, it's always OFA Naples. Surely. Round of applause to all of you. I can tell you every Monday and Tuesday we do leadership calls. And after the calls, and I'm talking about the work happening all across the state, I always get a call from a chapter leader. I can tell you the team that's coming after you all the most is in Plant City, Florida, which is in the Tampa Bay area. And every time they hear about something else OFA Naples has done, they've made it their personal mission to try to catch up to you all. And every time I talk to them, they're like, well, what did OFA Naples do last week? Okay, well, let's figure out how we can incorporate that. So the most recent thing they've been trying to master is just the incredibly great job you guys have been doing around grassroots fundraising. When you look at just the what's been coming into the state, I can tell you a huge majority from any single team has come from OFA Naples. So I want to definitely thank you all for that. Those funds have helped us to put on trainings across across the state. It's gone on to help provide for cell phones that we've gotten. So far, we've been able to afford purchasing 9 across the state, and it's come through resources that have come from everyone. But as I mentioned, a huge chunk has come from this team that you all are part of. When you look at the activities that have taken place all across the state, whether you're talking about the Affordable Care Act, immigration reform, which a couple months ago you all knocked out 2 events at the same time, one for Diaz-Balart, one for Trey Radel. Really was very well done. One thing I was talking to Liza and Tina about was just the quality of the events that you all put on. There are other teams that have decided to take on lots of different issues, but in terms of the quality of events, OFA Naples sets the bar. So I wanted to thank you all first and foremost in the opening of the remarks for the incredible work that you all have been able to do. So I saw a number of you are new to Organizing for Action, but not new to the OFA family. So to all of you, I want to say welcome back. We've missed you. We're very glad to have you continuing back with the OFA family. One mantra that we take very sincerely into heart with our organization is that you're once a part of OFA, you're always a part of OFA. So whether you've been gone for a couple months, or maybe since the last snowbird season ended, or maybe you've just taken a few months to get rejuvenated after the hard work of the election and now you're ready to go again, welcome back to the OFA family. You're never out of the family. So as Liza said, my name is Victoria. I'm the state coordinator with Organizing for Action. I want to give you guys a snapshot of what the state has been doing generally, as well as a national update so you can see how your work has played a role into what's happening all across the state. So I want to make sure I don't leave off any of our issues. So the Affordable Care Act is probably the single greatest issue that we've been working on. It's an act that we all worked really hard in 2009 and 2010 to get passed. And in Florida, we have some additional challenges because we have a governor who hopefully won't be in too much longer. That's as electoral as I can get. That has decided that he doesn't want to accept Medicaid expansion funds. He decided not to set up a state exchange in Florida, so we don't have the amazing opportunities like Kentucky, Connecticut, California to create a state-based exchange. And so what we've been doing as an organization is finding ways to amplify the benefits of the Affordable Care Act, to get out into the communities, and you all have done an incredible job of that. Getting out into the community, letting people know about the law, finding out how they can access support, whether it's from navigators, whether it's on the phone, whether it's online. And so that's been a huge part of shifting the narrative. There have been a couple letters of the editor written, too, that I've heard about just in the last week from OFA Naples, which is huge. So I want to definitely give a round of applause to the 2 folks who got their letters published. Can you raise your hand if you're in the room? I know I spoke with, neither of them are here? Okay. Well, I read them. They were excellently written. And if any of you want to add letters to the editor, they're a very easy, low-lift way of helping to change the narrative. How many of you are sick and tired of seeing on the news negative and wrong information about the Affordable Care Act? Well, our main mission, we know that there are a lot of organizations out there that are tasked, including Enroll America, and I'm really excited about the partnership that you all have with Get Covered America, to get out there and let people know about how to enroll. Our job as Organizing for Action, in addition to being able to be a support to Get Covered, is helping to push back against that wrong information. We don't want this to become an echo chamber where it is accepted fact, which is not true, that the healthcare law is a failure, because that's not true. We know that there are people who for the first time in their lives have healthcare, and that they're paying, for most people, less than their cell phone bill to be covered by healthcare. That there are people who could not access the market at all because of a pre-existing condition, whether it was acne or something more serious like cancer, and they now have the ability to get healthcare. And so telling those stories, whether they're at earned media events, whether it's a sign waving, a press conference, or a round table, or a panel, is very important and plays a huge role in pushing against wrong information that's out there. Something else you guys have done a great job of is digital action, which is huge. Tina and Liza especially, and there are others of you, I've seen your tweets, especially when you guys mention me, I read all of them, I retweet them, I favorite them. who made a huge effort in using Twitter and Facebook as a tool to reach out to your member of Congress. And Congressman Trey Radel responded back to the tweets that Liza and Tina and Sandy have been sending out to him, and set up an actual in-person meeting that they had yesterday that I think they're going to tell you guys more about, which is huge. I've been bragging on you all the last few days to our digital director up in Chicago, because it's a really great model for how you can use Facebook and Twitter to engage public servants to get your message out. When it comes to gun violence prevention, we're approaching the 1-year anniversary since the Sandy Hook massacre, where we lost 20 innocent babies, 20 innocent kids, and 5 adults to someone who would not have had access to a gun if we had stronger laws, both in looking at parents' access to guns when they have mentally ill children in the home, and also people generally who are mentally ill or criminally or have committed crimes. And so it's been a year of inaction by our elected officials on this issue. We've got teams across the state who've identified issue leads in their team. I know there isn't one yet for OFA Naples, but I hope after tonight's meeting someone decides that this is an issue that you think should have action in your community, because we do want to have activities and are planning activities across the country to honor and celebrate the lives that were lost on the 1-year anniversary of the Newtown massacre on December 14th. So if there's anyone who's interested in planning an event in Naples, please let me or Liza or Tina or some of the other core team members that were mentioned know. Some examples of types of events happening across the state. In Tampa, they're doing an interfaith rally at a church where they're bringing together people of various faiths, rabbi from different synagogues in the area, faith leadership from mosques around the Tampa Bay area, Christian faith leaders, Unitarian and Universalist church leaders are coming out, and they're having an interfaith vigil to talk about the impacts of gun violence. We have people who are doing press conferences featuring the voices of people who've lost loved ones due to bad gun laws in this country. And again, our focus is not to infringe upon the Second Amendment. Our focus is purely on keeping guns out of the hands of criminals and out of the mentally insane, which is something that 90% of NRA members also support, in an area where we should find common ground. We also have immigration reform activities. People have been working really hard in the state of Florida around immigration reform for a very long time, and as a result of that work, Naples' own Mario Diaz-Balart, Ross Lightman out of the Miami area, Congressman Webster out of the Orlando area, in addition to Steve Sutherland out of Tallahassee, have all come out in support of comprehensive immigration reform with an earned but fair path to citizenship. And so we're going to do one last attempt to get other members of Congress to support immigration reform at the path to citizenship on November 18th. We've got 8 events across the state so far that are going to be participating on that day of action. If any of you want to have an immigration reform event for Trey Radel, he's someone that we have in the middle in terms of someone who, with just a little bit more pushing, we might can get to come out for a path to citizenship using the piecemeal approach in the House of Representatives. So if any of you feel led to host an event like that, we can provide the support that you need to make that